Jancis. In 1999, you received the Decanter Man of the Year award, and I noticed that there were 33 men winners, of which 4 were women, and the title is still called Man of the Year.
It is completely balmy that it's called Man of the Year. I have a Magnum decanter at home engraved, Jancis Robinson, Man of the Year. I actually wrote to him this morning, just before setting off, saying the idiocy of this being called Man of the Year is being featured at the beginning of an important symposium in New York this morning, and couldn't you consider changing it to something more gender neutral? So we'll see if it does get any results.
What do you see as the role of men in changing the situation of women?
Well, what we want to do with men is just make sure they give women an equal chance. And I think that there is massive recognition of the special talents that women have in wine. But I'm always delighted when there are these scientific trials that pretty consistently seem to suggest that women are more consistent, more accurate tasters than men.
How did you originally find confidence in your palate and in your tasting notes?
We each taste differently, and as long as you're true to yourself, then no one can say you're wrong. If you say what you think, it can't possibly be wrong. And so that encouraged me just to follow my nose and say what I thought.
What can you tell us about the Master of Wine, WSET, Master Sommelier exam? Should women be pursuing these degrees?
Whenever a young person in wine asks for advice, I do advise them to show their commitment by doing formal education. Well, not just demonstrate their commitment, but actually force themselves to learn about those aspects of wine and spirits that don't necessarily interest them enormously. If you're going to do wine courses, form study groups is hugely important because it cuts down the work. You share out the research jobs so that you don't have to research every single thing yourself, and you share out the work. And of course, tasting in groups is far, far more educational than blind tasting alone. Make friends with the local wine retailer. Treat your local wine store as you would your local bookstore. Go in, tell them what you have liked, and encourage them to advise you, suggest something else that you would like in the same kind of mold. Yeah. I mean, local wine retailers are so valuable, and if you don't like the advice of the first one, go to the next one. And that can be such a useful relationship. They become your mentor, and you become a source of income for them.
I would love to know if you have some secrets you can tell us, or some clues to how to handle this very difficult life that we have, because a lot of us travel a lot, work a lot of evenings, and how do we balance?
Fortunately, I enjoy the evening bits of wine-related stuff. You know, I love sitting around a dinner table, drinking delicious wine and eating delicious food, funnily enough. But sitting around a table and having interesting conversation with good wine is my favourite leisure activity. So that helps.
In this age where we come to a conference and the first thing they tell us to do is hashtag the event, how do you feel your job has changed in an era of cellar tracker and social media and everyone posting about what they drank with dinner?
Massively. There are so many sources of information for everybody nowadays. And I think the only way that people like me can stay afloat is to work even harder. But I think you've got to recognise that the world has completely changed. And let us enjoy wine while we may, I think, is what I would say.